Hello and welcome.
Good evening.
My name is Alex and it's time to take a look at the game week number 35, of course, and 34. The shift between the deadlines and the previous game, as it was over just yesterday, is so quick. The deadline happening in literally a few hours. So this is going to be a brief video of whether it is worth to make a transfer. My plan on not using the free hit actually played out pretty well. I'm on a green arrow. It would have been much better if I brought better players. I didn't expect Cunha after all these rumors and maybe after indeed like reports that are truthful that he is joining Man United. I thought that he's gonna get benched or get limited minutes. Indeed, he started. He scored much more points than Stuart Larsson that I decided to pick. I don't know, I didn't want to be special. I just thought that logically they probably can beat Leicester without Cunha, but apparently Cunha was the star. And if I brought Cunha, I would have had such a fantastic green arrow. In addition to another pick, I don't know why I decided to go for Livramento, maybe just because I was chasing the points. Trippier didn't really score much this season, but then he decided to perform like a masterclass and assisted twice, and obviously they kept a clean sheet. Another decision that I was so close on to getting, diversifying my defensive assets in a way where I would be probably playing Alisson Becker instead of Zosisa. And I was so close on playing Alisson, and I'm so happy that I insisted on playing Sa. He was supposed to concede a goal because that was supposed to be a goal from Jamie Vardy penalty. He saved the pen. That was brilliant since I noticed the assist as usual. It's just a shame that he didn't assist Trent Larson, who was my differential. Another differential that I had is a captaincy on Isak. And obviously I had Bowen and Semenyo in my team. But these were players that were not necessarily favored by people on free hits. These are players that are, I think I was a little bit lucky getting points from. But at the same time, Bowen is now being favored by so many people, creators. So I don't have Mbeumo, and many people are considering getting Mbeumo or Bowen. And for this game week, I'm gonna be probably making a transfer. And before we move on, this is a fixture difficulty rating for the next game weeks. And if I were to make a transfer, I would probably bring in Brentford players, just because, look, they have such a fantastic run. And the transfer that I'm making right now, of course, I want to make this transfer with the perspective of actually keeping them till the end of the season, or maybe just rotating them. And look, I have 2 chips left. If you are following my strategy, you would have had 2 chips left as well. I'm just, I expect it would be nice to have a double game week in 36. Apparently we're not getting it. It's going to be regular game week, but I will be probably using my free hit in 36 as a massive differential, picking players that many people will be maybe like short on, like not being able to make these transfers, and of course reverting back to my team that I had in 35. And I would be probably stacking on Brentford players against Ipswich because they already are relegated, and I don't know if there's going to be motivation for them to play full strength. Brentford, I don't know why. They just performed so well at the end of the season. I think I remember last season they had a very strong finish as well. So they beaten Nottingham Forest, who are actually were in competition for the top 4 spots away. That was very impressive. So they're continuing the same form and are playing Man United after they are resting players probably, right, before the Europa League clash. That could be a W for them, and some players will be scoring goals. So for me, it's between Issa and Mbeumo. And then, of course, for Ipswich and Fulham and Wolves, all of these fixtures are good, I think, for Brentford. So that will be #1 priority. If you're looking for a defensive asset, I would go for Everton. So if you don't, like for me, I don't really need to make a defensive transfer. I have 2 playing goalkeepers. It just like feels to me like a sideways move and wasting a transfer. But if you really need a defender, that could be any of the Everton defenders. You can go for McCullen probably, just because he has a little bit of offensive strengths. And of course, Pickford. Pickford will be #1 goalkeeper for Ipswich and Southampton at home. It looks like it's a guaranteed clean sheet, given that Everton are not conceding many goals this season. Any other players that you can be going for a wild punt on Leicester? They're playing Southampton at home and Ipswich at home twice. I'm not doing that. I just think that my transfers are way too precious to do a sideways move like, I don't know, Mateta to like whatever, like Vardy. It would be nice to have Vardy though. I'm not saying that's bad. And of course, it looks like Man City will be trying to get that Champions League spots. Getting Man City players is good. It feels like the template is so obvious that you have probably already a few assets from Man City. There is a rumor of Haaland available. He already is training with the team. So for that, if Gameweek 36 is a little bit of a double, or I want to play maybe someone from Man City against Southampton, I can get Haaland on my free hit. So if you're following that strategy, I'm going to be doing like free hit 36 probably video. And my bench boost will probably be, I'm revealing all of my plans. If you take a look at the transfer planner, my team, without any transfers right now, I have pretty strong team. Like, we have all the home fixtures here for teams that are pretty decent. Strand Larsen can be eaten for Cunha, I don't know, maybe another striker. And I have Semenyo against Leicester, Aina against Chelsea at home, which can be a right fixture. Ellison against Crystal Palace at home, Bowen against Ipswich. I will be getting Mbeumo most likely, or Visa as my attackers. They will be having also a decent fixture, I think. Let me see what Brentford are playing. Wolves away, it's okay. So all of these players, they actually can be bench boosted, right? So this bench, it's not necessarily this bench, but I can have a decent bench boost with this team. And besides, by 38, I can make a few transfers too. So this is my plan. Gameweek 36, I'm playing the free hit and massive differential, trying to gain ground because I will be having the best players here, right? I will be having players from City, Nottingham Forest against Leicester, I'll be tripling up probably Brentford, and Man United playing against West Ham. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, so some of these fixtures can be done. And then, of course, in 37, I'm reverting back to my players, and I probably may want to get an Aston Villa player, right? So that could be my transfer. Nottingham Forest, I may, by the time I already may be tripling up on the Forest as is. And in 38, I think my Bournemouth players will become handy because they're playing Leicester at home. And I have Bowen already against Ipswich. So these all are the players that I may be picking up. But if you want some comparison, if you're wondering what player to bring into your team, I think for the midfielders, given that you already have the likes of Salah, you already have, I don't know, maybe you... what is the template currently? Murphy, I don't know, Semenyo, Kluivert. You may have these players already, and for Bournemouth players, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a good idea to buy them now, but they have Leicester at home in 38. That can be, on its own, massive differential. Having Kluivert and Evan Nilsson in your team, like you already need to think about these games in advance. But if you don't have this trio, I would say that Mbeumo is the obvious choice, but then Bowen playing against Tottenham, that can be a very interesting fixture, of course. And for Bowen, I wouldn't say that this team, like, they managed only to score 1 goal against Southampton, but at the same time, if Tottenham are resting players for the Europa League clash as well, just like Man United, and then they're playing United away, like, Bowen can assist easily, and you can see that he is actually aiming for assists. In terms of assist, Elanga is the best this season, but Bowen is having the most shots out of all, and he also is second in terms of passing. And Mbeumo is, of course, I think, a standout option here. So I think all of these players are good. It's just a toss of a coin, because you never know who is going to be turning up. I feel like Mbeumo is a player that I'm going to be getting personally. For me, by the way, it can be easily Strand Larsen, who I realized that he probably is not him, because Cunha is taking all the points, all the bonuses. So I'm getting rid of him, maybe in favor of someone like Visa. So Visa will be playing Man United. Then, of course, Visa will be playing Ipswich away. So doubling up on Brentford attack is a good idea. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this for -4 though. And speaking about attackers, they are obviously listed as forwards. This is the 4 forwards that some of them you may already have in your team, like Mateta. And I think Mateta, in this regard, according to the stats this season, as you can tell, Cunha is the most effective player. But Chris Wood has some nice fixtures as well as Visa. So it's just a sort of a coin for you, I think. For me, I think Visa is just in a high... like, the way he was confidently, like, finishing chances against the likes of Nottingham Forest and the previous games too, I really feel like he has that confidence. And you can buy a player in form, and it's never a bad decision. For Cunha, they play against Man City right now, but then they have slightly easier fixtures, and that's where I myself want to get Cunha. I don't want to get him for a hit, but when you talk about Wolves fixtures, Brighton at home, this is grey on the fixture ticker. I don't believe that it is grey. It should be green. Should be a lot of goals scored, because, I mean, maybe for defensive assets they can still concede. But for attackers, I feel like there's going to be at least 2 goals scored by Wolves. Brighton are leaking goals. Then there's Crystal Palace, who will have some cup fixtures. I don't know if by the time they'll be resting players or like playing them actively. And then Brentford at home. So this doesn't mean that you need to rush and triple up on Wolves attackers, but having Cunha can be very, very handy, because Many people don't have Cunha, and I should have had him if I didn't decide to be special. If I got Cunha right now instead of Larson, I would be very happy. But as it stands, my next transfers will be most likely I'm benching all of this slot. Semenyo benched is kind of tricky. If I'm getting some kind of info that Arsenal are resting all of their team, I can easily play Semenyo as my starter and then bench someone like Strand Larson and not even make a single transfer. I don't know. But at the same time, it could be one of the could be easy. I can equally sell Semenyo, you know, because I need him Boomer, I think, because he's on penalties, he's assisting a lot. Wissa is in a hot form, so Wissa could be quite a differential. So I can go Strand Larson to Wissa directly, or I can go Semenyo to Mbuma and then bench Strand Larson. So that could be my transfer for this game week, which deadline starts in just few hours. So make sure you make your transfers. I'm really happy about my rank right now, given that I have 2 chips saved, and I will be definitely pushing. Maybe I just don't want to jinx it, but let's try to improve on the rank that we have right now. If you're following same strategy, good luck with the games. We are playing differently, man. We are not playing like everyone else on YouTube, trying to do something else and not reaping the benefits. Obviously, the rank is quite poor right now, 70,000, not really impressive. But we have the 2 chips that can maybe just propel our rank and finish strong. Let's jinx all players except ours, and I'll see you next one. Peace.